Yo, welcome back, y'all, to A Gift of Gab. Of course, I am your host, Gab, aka Miss G, aka Gabby, aka whatever they want to call me. But welcome back to another episode of A Gift of Gab. I appreciate y'all for being with me. Today we have a super special guest. We have my girl Shay. Welcome on, Shay.
Hey, Gabby. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We appreciate you for being here. So y'all, Shay and I are like, I guess like surrogate cousins.
We're cousins.
We're cousins, right? We got
Yeah,
to
at this point.
at this point we gotta be cousins. So I invited Shay on today because Shay is a rapper. I won't even say aspiring because y'all, she is out here doing her damn thing.
Oh,
She is young and she is the mother to an awesome daughter. And when
yeah.
I say awesome, I'm talking about autism. Her daughter is it correct to say special needs?
Yes, I mean for me, I don't get offended by it. That's what, that's what they use when we go to appointments. So special needs, I use disability,
Mm-hmm.
but also we like to say, our kids have different abilities. It's not a disability.
Different
So it's just,
abilities.
different things, I guess, depending on the person, whatever works for them, whatever makes them feel comfortable. But that's definitely fine.
But I love different abilities. I love that one. I've never heard that one. So gotta put that in my vocab now. So yeah, so again, I appreciate you for being on, and just to kind of kick things off, Shay, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about, like, who Shay is outside of the music, outside of the baby girl right now. Who Shay is.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you asked that because I feel like I'm finding Shay again. Ever since I had my daughter, when you become a mom, your whole life revolves around your child. When you're a good parent,
Yeah.
so I feel like I'm just now getting to the point where I'm comfortable. I'm coming back into my own as a woman and as a person and figuring out what I want for myself. Like you said, I'm an artist, but um, I'm very passionate. I'm a friend, a girlfriend, like a family member. I'm a business owner.
Yes.
I love to make arts and crafts. I feel like it's so cliche for girls or people to come into the industry like with their music and they do interviews and you hear, oh, I, made it at the strip club and stuff like that. Like I made it making baby tutus and t-shirts, it's not a
Yes.
typical backstory for me. Like I love, arts and crafts and learning new things, and making things. So I'm a very hands-on person. I love to write. That's really how I express myself is through my music,
Mhm.
writing stories, poetry. And I just always felt like my music was like, poetry over a beat. So yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm just finding Shay again, and it's exciting. It does have like a lot of ups and downs, but I
Absolutely.
do want people to know that it's okay to have a life outside of your kids. You
Yes.
can't feel guilty for that because when we're not happy and we're not in a good space, we can't be the best parents that we need to be for our children. So,
Absolutely. And I say that a lot. I always tell people, I always have to first say, listen, I know I'm not a mommy, right? But I'm human. And
right,
I understand that if I have nothing in my cup to pour, for me, I have nothing in my cup to pour for anybody. So I always think that translates to being a parent. If you don't have time for you, you can't really, if you don't know who you are, and take time to make yourself happy and fulfill some of the things that just are just for you, you can't really do that as well as you would want to for your kids. So I'm very happy that you said that, and which leads us into, so how old are you, Shay, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 29. I'm going to be 30 in August.
Yes, for the 30.
Getting up
Listen, let me
there.
tell you, as a member of the 30 club, I've been 30 for 3 years now. it a whole different perspective on life. It's like as soon as 30 hit, you be like, wait, what just happened? What light just clicked on where and what happened? So
Right.
welcome. So let's start out. Let's talk about Shy. Shy is such a sweet girl. Like just so full
She
of life,
is.
so full of energy, just so lovable. Like you can't help but to love Shy. And if Shy don't like you, it say a lot about you. So let me just put that out there. And let me put just
Right.
so take us. Let's start with finding out you were pregnant, um, finding out Shy's diagnosis of autism and how you dealt with that being a young mother. So just kind of walk us through that.
Okay. Well, I got pregnant when I was basically about to be going into my senior year of college when I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. So not only, am I going through that whole transition with like, school, and I didn't really have like a good support system. And I love my family, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I feel like just compared to like my peers that had people, rooting for them while going to school. Like I just knew I had to go to school. Nobody ever said, here, let me give you, the resources or the tools, how you can be successful while going to school. I kind of I kind of feel like that's where I fell short at because I didn't have that type of support.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I've always been, like very independent, very strong, a very strong person. And when I did find out I had my daughter, it was just very scary and emotional, only because I knew I wanted to be a great mother, but I just didn't know how to go about that or if I would be good. It's just a lot of uncertainties when you're pregnant for the first time. So I had my baby and she was just such a blessing. Everybody stopped being mad then, they're mad when you drop out of school and you get pregnant. It's just like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. But as soon as Shy came, all the stuff that they were stressing me out about, it was just kind of like out the window.
Right.
And everybody instantly fell in love with her. And she just always been like a good baby and a good kid. Like I've just been blessed to have her. In the very beginning, she used to, say words like, babies have different milestones that they're expected by society to, meet at certain ages. And Shy was like really fast. Like she was doing everything really quickly. She would mimic us and, speech and talking, saying different words. And then all of a sudden it stopped. And so that's when me and her dad became a concern. Like she's supposed to be progressing, not,
right.
she's not making any progress any longer. So we definitely had to be advocates for our children.
Yeah.
Because these doctors and I wouldn't say all, but for the most part, how I feel when it comes to the care for Black people in general, I don't feel like our voices are heard a lot, and they don't take us seriously. So you have to push and push for certain things, more than often. And her pediatrician was just like, no, every child is different. She'll, she'll start talking, she'll start doing, things for herself. And I'm just like, no, like I would rather, do early intervention now and figure out what the issue is. Because if she is going to progress, what's the issue if we start, services now? What's the problem?
Absolutely. Yes.
It's only going to help her, right?
Yeah.
So we had to push for a very long time. And mind you, I noticed this before my baby turned 1. So wow. I didn't actually get like a official diagnosis until she was maybe like 3.5. And that's when she started going to daycare. And, the daycare, of course, was telling us their concerns. Like they noticed certain fabrics and sounds and things like that she was sensitive to and would irritate her. So we got an official diagnosis. And when I finally got that, we kind of assumed, but when you finally get it, it's just kind of like, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Even though a weight feels like it's been lifted off your shoulders because you have that confirmation,
Yeah.
But it's still an overwhelming thing because again, you're still trying to figure out how to, navigate through motherhood. There's no handbook for it.
Yeah.
But then it's like another curveball. It's like, okay, now your baby has, special needs. She has autism. So I had to educate myself because I had no clue what autism was. I just knew it was a disability specified as such, but I had to dive in. After I got over, I want to say my, what's the word I'm looking for? I had to kind of get over being in denial about it because I didn't want to accept it at first. No, I don't think any parent really wants to accept something is wrong with their child.
Yeah.
But again, just me being like the self-determined person that I am, and I've always had to, from like a very young age, kind of figure a lot of things out for myself.
Right.
So I was just like, I have to stop, get out the bed, stop crying about it, stop stressing about it, give it to God. But also you need to accept it. You need to accept your own child, because if you can accept your child's diagnosis, you can't expect the rest of the world to. That's not
And
fair.
I appreciate you so much for being transparent like that, because I have heard stories from multiple women that, you know, their child didn't get diagnosed until later because they didn't want to accept that as a parent. You know, they didn't. And even in certain cases, I've heard them say, like, you know, the doctor was the one who was like, you know, maybe we need to start testing for autism because I'm noticing developmental delays. But as a parent, they were like, what are you talking about? That's not my kid. You know, so
Right.
it prolonged the process. And because in that moment they couldn't get outside of themselves. And that's, you know, I would imagine that's a really hard thing to do because society is cruel, and you don't want to add an extra layer of, you got a little black girl who, like, society already like, you a
That's
black
too
girl, like, whatever.
spicy.
You slap another title on them, you know, another label on them. So I definitely can imagine. I mean, that is, I appreciate you for being transparent. So okay, so we've gotten Shy's diagnosis. You know, how are you? What's making you get up every day and go, okay, I got to get my baby the help she needs? Your support system, was it just you and Shy? Was it you, Daddy, and Shy? Like, what's going on in your world at this time?
Yeah, it was really just, you know, me, Dad, and Shy trying to figure it out. And, you know, although we co-parent, like I'm just very thankful that we still have our friendship.
Yeah.
Because when you think about all of the baby mama, baby daddy drama going on, and it's like, if we had to deal with that on top of figuring out what's best for my child, it's like, we don't have time for that. We don't have time for the shenanigans.
Absolutely.
She's the first priority. So just always putting her first. But it's mostly been the three of us, and I'm thankful now that I'm in a happy, like, you know, relationship. Yeah. And I have, you know, my boyfriend's support, and, you know, and his family, and it's just been great. Like, it took a while for my family to become educated on it. Yeah. Because at first they didn't understand. You know, I would bring Shy around them, and she might, like, you know, fall out on the ground or something. She's like, I don't want you touching me, or I don't want, you know, certain things you know, on me, or it was just it was hard because I'm half Haitian, and I come from a family, like, you're expected to embrace everybody in the room. And my baby is not going to be kissing everybody on the cheek. She, you know, like you said, if Shy doesn't like you, it's a problem. She feeds off energy. And so I'm like, if my baby don't want to hug you, she don't want to hug you. And it was kind of hard for me at first because trying to meet my family's expectations, like, no, Shy, you have to hug this person, or you have to, you know, kiss this person on the cheek, because that's what you do in a Haitian household. And Shy just was not having it. So I had to learn, like, okay, it's not about what's comfortable for my family at this point. It's what's comfortable for my child. So that was a process in itself. And then also, like you had mentioned about, you know, people, I don't even want to say, you know, and I don't judge people. I do feel like it's parents that are still in denial. Yeah. And they kind of let, you know, they just kind of let maybe like society or their family or their friends or just even their own personal experiences influence how they you know, handle their children who have special needs. Because I get I'm a very vocal person. I'm an open book, you know, Gabby, but everybody don't know. Like, I don't mind sharing my story. I don't mind, like, I post about Shy's autism, like, consistently, because I feel like if it can help somebody else, then I'm all for it. So people will inbox me, and I'll go on their page, and I don't see anything about, you know, like, their kids or, you know, their, you know, what they're going through, which is fine. People are also private people.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like an open book. And I'm just like, you know, you got to be proud of that. Like, don't inbox me, say it to the world, but it's just still some people that have a difficult time with that. Yeah. And I was at that point in my life too. So I had to, it's just kind of one of those things that you have to grow through.
So what were some of the signs that you saw in Shy? Like, I heard you say that, you know, she was progressing and then she just kind of stopped. But what were some of the things, any mannerisms or anything that just kind of was like, this could be autism or something? What, you know, tell us about some of the signs.
Yeah, so she stopped talking, like, completely. So even when babies, like, mimic you, she wouldn't repeat words. And then when she would make noises, it became like gibberish. So it was really like, ineligible what she was saying. She would stare off into space a lot. So you'll be talking to her, like we had to get her hearing test done, and we also had to get like take her to a neurologist for, you know, like the brain scans.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't like anything touching her head, so they actually had to sedate my baby
Wow.
because they put the tabs on your head, you know, so they could do the brain scans. And
Yeah.
if Shy is up, she wasn't having it. So it's something about like autistic people. Most of them have sensory disorders.
Mm-hmm.
So just like, you know, sounds, she would cry when you're clapping, like we would sing her happy birthday, or she would be watching her favorite TV show, and she would just, you know, start clapping and freaking out, like crying hysterically. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with my baby? You know, like what is causing her to have a meltdown like this? She didn't like the feel of certain fabrics. So she always had her favorite fuzzy blanket that she would take to school with her.
Yeah.
But just certain things, like she didn't like her hands being wet or dirty, or she would just like freak out. She didn't like the, you know, the inner seam of a sock touching your toes.
Yeah.
That would set her off.
Wow.
It was just a lot of things, and she was just very particular. Like she had to have all of her toys. She would stack them in a certain order.
Yeah.
And maybe if one was out of order because mommy cleaned it up, all hell was gonna break loose.
Yeah.
So she's, you know, and she her memory is like very sharp. She's very intelligent when it comes to school, like academically.
Yeah.
She's, you know, top of her class. It's just more so those, you know, those small things. It's just like, okay, something's not right, or you need a little more attention and love in this area. So I mean, I love my baby, and I'm thankful because I have seen other autistic people, they're severely autistic.
Yeah.
And again, like you, Gabby, I'm still learning like what may or may not offend people.
Yeah.
But this is just what, you know, how they describe it to me again when we go to appointments. She's mildly autistic. Some people don't believe in, you know, mildly autistic or severely. It just is autism what it is. But I can tell the difference from my child and someone who is labeled severely autistic. Like there's grown autistic adults that can't speak, and they have to, you know, live with their caregivers or parents and guardians forever. They literally can't do anything for themselves. And I've just been blessed that Shy is, you know, she is now starting to progress with that early intervention with speech therapy. She's been talking, you know, she talks when she wants to. I always say she got like a rude grown up in that body, because she will speak. She may not hold a full conversation, but I think that's also due to, you know, her personality. Like society says autistic people like to be to themselves. And in my head, I was like, what's wrong with that? I like to be to myself. And my autistic, you know, what's the problem? I like my personal space too. And that's just how my baby is. So when she invites you into that space, it's kind of like, you know, like you said, that's just a blessing. Like Shy lets you be a part of her world.
And she is such a sweet kid. Like the few times I have been around Shy, you just don't have a choice than to be happy around her. Like she's just fun. She's just a super like fun kid. And unless I've been around autistic kids a lot of my life, because that's my mom always worked with autistic kids, and she was always bringing somebody that she fell in love with at school. She was always bringing them home. So fortunately for me, I learned early, you know, how to I don't want to say deal with, but right now it escapes me. But how to adjust with, you know, people who are special needs, you know, because it's like you said, it's not about my comfort, it's about theirs. So I learned early on how to, you know, be a little more sensitive to how high my voice is or how my reactions are. And I mean, Shy just was like, she just opened up. She let me, remember that time we met each other, like at Waffle House or somewhere, she let me hug on her. So that says a lot. That says a whole lot. So that's amazing. And I always see you, you know, always talking about autism and just supporting any type of research, supporting anything to, you know, just get it out there and show people that this is a part of everyday life. So I sincerely appreciate that. And before we move on, I want to drop a few statistics that I found on autismspeaks.org. And one of them is that boys are 4 times more likely to be diagnosed with autism than girls. Another one is that minority groups tend to be diagnosed later and less often. And I think you kind of touched on that a little bit, because, being Black, Caribbean, we don't necessarily buy into that. We don't
Right.
necessarily think that that's something that is like a thing, like, oh, they'll grow out of it. Oh, don't worry about it. We don't tend to just
Right.
stop and kind of take that that second thought and go, wait, and then another one that you definitely mentioned with Shy is, early intervention affords the best opportunity to support healthy development and deliver benefits across the lifespan. So, autismspeaks.org definitely, recommends it. You can find out super early, as early as 2, and start doing stuff then. Start speech therapy, start, anything you can, start it early. So let's transition a little bit. So, okay, so you've got Shy, you and Dad, y'all co-parenting, y'all figuring it out day by day with Shy. And where does your rap career come in? Was this something you wanted to do when you were younger, or just how does rapping come about?
Yes. Whew. Listen, I've been on the longest hiatus of any rapper probably in history. Cause after after I had my baby, that was like in 2013, and I was rapping. I've always wanted to rap. I always wanted to do something with music. I'm not the best singer, so don't ask me to sing, but I know how to, I know how to rap. I know I got my little flow going, and my
Yes.
mom used to rap too. So it's just always been in me to, like write. It's been a passion of mine. And when I had my daughter, like I had just shot like a video, and or before I got pregnant, I had just shot a video. I was in a studio and going to school and work full time, and I was just doing doing the damn thing. Like, and now fast forward, mind you, this was in 2011, 2012 when I kind of like started taking rapping seriously in college. And fast forward to now, what we in 2021?
Yes.
And last year I just dropped my first official video. So look at how many years, like that big time span. People forget about you. People forget, you can rap and you're talented.
Yeah.
And especially like I said, when you become a mom and it's just kind of like, oh, it's over for Shay. Like I felt a lot of that pressure. Even though it's a lot of standards being broken now, it's a lot of barriers being broken. You see women now, they're able to like, take their kids on the road with them. They're able to be pregnant and still have careers and be strong and successful. And it just wasn't like that back then. So I definitely went through a period of depression because I wasn't able to do something I was passionate about. And again, it's just me and Shy at this point living together. I didn't have like the support really from anybody else. Right. So now that I'm in a better space, like financially, mentally, just a lot of different aspects of my life have changed to where I can dive back into my passion and take it, seriously again. Right. So I would say I do it like every other weekend. As you know, I quit my job because of Shy, mainly because of her. I wanted to be able to give her all the attention and therapy she needs. And with COVID and everything was just so unexpected. And I took like an extended leave of absence when I was still at work. It was just a lot going on. And I didn't want my baby to slip through the cracks. I'm like, she's already not getting the therapy she needs. But because she is doing so well, and she is progressing, I'm not trying to see a dip. I'm not, I'm not going for it. So I just made the decision to quit my job, and hopefully I will have more time to invest, and go to the studio. I can go throughout the week now. Because before it was like every other weekend, Gabby. That's why people like, oh, drop an album, drop more songs. And it's like, I can't, I'm a mom. But the songs I do drop, I put my all into it. I'm not just dropping no trash. It's something, people could vibe to. And I think people take me, they take me seriously. They see that I'm really next level. And
listen, if nobody else supports you, I see two of some of my favorite friends, Wit and Sharonza, shout out to them, or Eden, the artist who was on a previous show. They support you wholeheartedly, and I'm sure it always it always feels good to have people who with that consistent support in your corner. But when I first heard, so admittedly, the first time, or I won't say I heard you first rap on your video that you did in Lil Haiti. It was another time, something you dropped on like Facebook or something. It wasn't, I don't remember you having like a video or anything to it. But you
I think it could have been Get Ready. It was a single with a girl that was singing on it.
Yes.
Like
and I
a
was
breakup
like,
song.
Is she just playing or is she just rapping? And I remember you wrote something on Facebook one time, like you wrote like a poem or something. And I was like, Shay is like, she a beast with the words. Like, I did not know this about Shay. Like, what's up? So I love your music. And let's talk about your latest track. Listen, I am a 90s girl, okay?
Yes,
I am a bamboo earring wearing girl around the way.
I'm getting 90s vibes right now. Like I said, only you could pull this off. You got the hoops.
Girl.
You got the baggy shirt. You got the cap, the fitted.
So you know 90s Baby, y'all, Shay's latest song, 90s Baby. Let me just play a snippet. Let me just play a little bit of it.
Oh my gosh, I always get so shy.
What?
Having people hear my music is just like nerve-wracking because I want everybody to like it and not everybody's gonna love it.
I love 90s. Listen, right now, I am trying to learn the lyrics to it. So let's just play a little bit of it.
Okay.
And with the Tevin Campbell. Hey.
I can't hear it, Gabby. Put it up closer.
Listen, you did not have to put the Tevin on there. That's right there. That was it for me. Talk to us about 90s Baby. Tell us about this song.
Listen, it was, I'm not gonna lie, you know, I don't like to toot my own horn, but I feel like I really did that with this record. I'm so proud of this record because you know, I'm a very passionate 90s baby. Yes. Everything like old school and even past that, like I grew up listening you know, like some Motown music, you know how our families are. So
yes,
it was actually a kid that reached out to me. He made this beat from California, and the power of social media, girl, and networking. So when I dropped Lil Haiti Baby, I got so much, you know, views and traffic coming to my page, and a lot of, you know, DJs and different people, they want to send you stuff and, you know, work with you and stuff like that. And I don't know what made me open his message, but I'm so happy I did because he, you know, he's building up his following and stuff too. So I'm just like, and I listened to the beat. He was like, hey, can I send you a free beat package? So I listened to that beat and I fell in love with it. Cause again, it's sampling Tevin Campbell, Can We Talk? And just how he like, you know, switched it up and gave it a new sound. I feel like for this generation of kids that probably don't know good music or don't even know the song Can We Talk? And he just made, you know, he made it fun. And I'm able to write my music better when I have beats that speak to me. Like if I hear a beat and I just start flowing as soon as I hear it, that's how I know that's what, you know, that's gonna be the song. And yeah, and I knew I also didn't want any like, you know, cursing and profanity, anything like, you know, crazy with this record, because I'm just like, that's not how they rap back then. A real MC and a real artist, they know how to rap with all of that bleep, 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 bleep. Like, and I want my baby to have something, you know, Lil Haiti Baby was totally different. It was a little ratchet, and I'm a versatile artist. Like I wanted to show that I could switch it up. I wanted something that could play at like the wedding receptions, like the birthday parties for the babies, and I think I did that. And I'm just so excited. It's getting a good response.
Let me toot your horn since you don't want to toot your horn. I love 90s Baby. Like I vibed to Lil Haiti Baby, definitely. But 90s Baby is my shit. Let me just say that. Who did it with this record? I am a 90s girl through and through. And that right there, that was classic 90s good music. Right. It was a great beat. Everybody can vibe to it. It's not a bunch of crazy profanity that you gotta, okay, let's turn, or the radio gotta bleep it out the whole time. So listen, y'all, go run the numbers up on 90s Baby. You are on every platform, right? Everywhere we can find you.
I'm on all platforms. My Instagram is at @baddestzoe, ZOE. It's on YouTube, you know, Spotify, however you choose to listen to your music. Whatever you pay for, I'm on it.
Do you have a video coming for 90s Baby?
Yes. Are you gonna come make a
cameo? Can I be in the video?
I need all of my supporters, everybody that's 90s. I need us to have our throwback gear on. I need us to get our 90s dances together, the Running Man, all of that.
I can't dance, but I will be in the video.
You gonna dance, Gabby. You gonna dance.
Shay, we already discovered I can't dance. You know this.
Bring it up. Listen, but the 90s babies, the dances, I don't feel like we're too difficult. You don't have to do, nothing too crazy. Kind of like with TikTok, how it is now. You don't think it's kind of similar?
It is, but listen, and maybe I've just been so like I can't dance that I just like talked myself out of it. But listen, I will make it. I will be in the 90s baby video. I love everything about that. So okay, so when can we? I mean, I know this is fresh, this is new, but you know how we are these days. When can we expect another song, another single to drop? When can we expect an album? Like what's in the works for you?
Well, now that I have everybody's attention again, I definitely want to keep that momentum going, and just have like a better work ethic when it comes to my music, because before I wasn't able to work in a 9 to 5 and then, just doing music every other weekend.
Yeah.
And I have songs written, like I stay up in the middle of the night all the time. I don't know about you, but I'm constantly like waking up. That's just me. And I've never been much of a sleeper. I get my little nap in and I wake up and I may write or I may create. Those are the, better times for me. Yeah. So I would say like, I'm definitely going to be dropping something soon. I do want to get the 90s baby video out the way because that's priority, for the summer and for, promotion for everybody to get like excited about it. Yeah. And kind of just put, in this day and age, you have to have visuals. You can't just drop a song and that's a great song, but I have to be the one to push it because I don't have a team behind me. Yeah. I have, of course, people like you and, my family, my boyfriend, people supporting me and cheering me on. But at the same time, like, it's really me. I don't have any resources available. So that's the hard thing about being an independent artist. Yeah. It's like I dream so big, but sometimes it's kind of like, okay, I got to come back down to earth. What can I do within the resources that I have? And I think I did good with the Lil Haiti Baby video. I took it back home. And again, that was just all people that supported me coming together. And we made a excellent project that I see competing with, the real videos out here. So I want to do the same with 90s Baby. And hopefully I would say within like the next month or maybe by this summer, I'll have like a full album or EP out.
Yeah, listen, we wholeheartedly support that over here at the Gift of Gab. Listen,
I also want to point out I got Tevin Campbell's I got praise from him on Twitter.
Father retweet.
And on Twitter and also on Instagram. So I was like, hold up. I was like, I'm tripping, right? Because with social media, it be fake pages and stuff and fan pages going on. So I'm like, let me go to Twitter and make sure this is, him really verified. And it was him. But, the thing with that, too, is he's just the person that sung the song. Yeah. He's not really like the, the writer. I think it was like Babyface and other publishing companies that, came together to write that song. And I'm just like, damn, how dope would it be to have him like make a cameo in the video? But again, thinking too big, just try to like,
no,
if it's man.
No, listen, see, this is something I've learned in this 30 club. Dream big, think big. And when you think you thought big, you haven't thought big enough. You haven't dreamt big enough. Keep doing it because manifestation is real. Right. And I don't care how you look at it. I look at it from a biblical perspective. So a man thinketh, so is he. What you invite, what you think about, you invite into your life. So keep thinking big. You never know. Hell, Tevin Campbell might Babyface, all of them might we wholeheartedly welcome that. That is, Shay, that is so super awesome. And I know it just was a crazy leap of faith to quit your 9 to 5 and say,
girl, I'm getting heart palpitations right now, but listen.
That's so brave. That's so brave. That's so admirable because I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'm not a creative person like that. Like my hope and dream is that Gift of Gab takes off, right? But I'm definitely not at a place where I'm like, I'm gonna quit my job and just do Gift of Gab. Like I would love to, but that's a brave thing to do. So when I get there, I promise you, I'm gonna call you like, so Shay, talk me through this. how we do this now? We just quit. Like, what's up? What's the formula?
Yeah, I'm like a go-getter. Like, and you're right, Gabby. Like, everybody doesn't have like an entrepreneur or business type mindset. Like, I be over here with my friends and my boyfriend. I be like, okay, what y'all want to do? I don't figure out what I want to do. What y'all want to do? Y'all need to quit this job and go do and go do this and work for yourself. And my boyfriend be like, okay, everybody don't know how to make stuff like you. Everybody not as talented. And I kind of be like, okay, well, you right. Let's figure out what you.
So, and as a matter of fact, so we've talked about your artistry. Tell us about, some of the things. Tell us about some of the items that you make and sell, and where we can find them.
Yeah, so I finally opened my Etsy shop. So my business is called Treasures by Tashea. That's my government name, y'all, which y'all probably won't hear that no more when I become like a hardcore rapper. You know, they don't like to talk about government names. And then also I have my separate business, Diva in a Diaper. So Diva in a Diaper is more so for like my baby tutus and headbands, like, kid friendly. And Treasures by Tashea is just overall like customizing items. Like, I came out with my home decor line. I, customized bathroom sets, wine glasses, t-shirts, just like a variety of different things, like everything that come to mind. Chocolate breakable hearts. Every time I see a DIY video on YouTube, I have to learn how to make it for myself, to the point where it just gets, I don't like paying other people to do stuff for me, because I just do it all now. But I will support Black businesses. I'm all for it.
Yes.
I still support, like, anytime I see somebody, just grinding, like, you have to respect it. You have no choice. And like I said, everybody can't make it out the strip club. We ain't all strippers. We not all, doing stuff the dirty way. We really, it's harder for us, and it take a little longer, but I just have faith it's going to be worth it in the end. So,
and it is. It is. I wholeheartedly support what you are doing. I mean, that's just plain and simple. I wholeheartedly support it. I have heard you, and trust me, I have heard a lot of people rapping. I'm like, okay, stay where you at. But I definitely, I don't see, anything stopping you, slowing you down. That's why I really wanted to have you on the show, because, you are just, you doing it. You a full-time mommy. You a full-time mommy to an awesome girl. You are a full-time mommy with a, with a rap career that is just, it's gonna just take off right before you know it. You are a full-time mommy.
That's the plan. I hope so.
It is. You're wearing so many hats, and you transition through them well. Like, I'm sure there are bumps along the way, but you make it look so flawless. You do it very well. So I appreciate you being here on this show. Like, I hope some ladies and some fellas, come on here and just recognize that, damn, she doing the damn thing, and know that they can do it, and support what you are doing. So again, tell us where we can find you. Tell us any type of organizations that you would like for us to support when it comes to autism. Just go ahead and lay it all out for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So first, because I'm a proud autism mom and advocate, especially I feel like for our Black children, there's not really like a specific organization I found yet that's geared towards, us. Mm-hmm. But there are support groups. So I do want to let anybody know that deals with it. Like, there's a Black Autism Mom support group on Facebook that's great. Like, I had no idea that they had one specifically for Black mothers, because I was in an autism support group that was, diverse. And let me tell you the difference between, the those type of mamas, the Karens. Okay, let's just say that.
We can say Karens, yes.
Yeah, we can say Karens. They're just like, oh my gosh, Jimmy is, my husband left me, and it's so overwhelming. And, they kind of just have that energy, like, it makes you want to curl up and, give up with them. And when you go to the Black Autism Mom support group, they give you the strength you need, baby. They you not finna talk to my child or treat my child any differently, or I'm finna get up in that ass type of energy.
Yeah.
So, there's definitely like support groups and, things that you can maybe find locally. I'm trying to get started with one now that I have the time to create one for Tampa, Florida, where I'm located, because everybody be in my inbox anyway. So it's like, why not just, make it available to the masses? And then when it comes to my music, again, you can find me on Instagram at Baddest Zoe. And you can find me on YouTube. My stage name is Snatcha. So If you look up Snatcha, 90s Baby, Gabby favorite song. If you look up Snatcha, Lil Haiti Baby, you know, and my music is on all platforms. So again, when you find my Instagram, you can, you know, find the link, and the, you know, that's the main link to find everything. And I just really thank you for supporting me, and everybody else that supports me and that's rocking with me and that gives me words of encouragement, because everybody is, you know, we still have our things that we work on, our flaws. Like I'm still working on having better control of my voice. I don't really like my voice. I'm not confident enough in my voice, because I feel like I kind of have like a squeaky or more high pitched voice, whereas you're used to female rappers, they kind of have that bass in their voice, like that, you know, and I don't have that.
But what you have is flawless, and that's what makes you you. That's what makes you you. Because if God wanted you to be like all of them, he would have gave you that. Apparently, he wanted you to stand out. So we're gonna roll with what we got.
Right. So I think that's just gonna take a little use to people like understanding my voice, and you know, accepting it, adjusting to hearing that new sound, because I don't feel like I sound like anybody else in my opinion. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, like people are gonna, they're not gonna like it, but they loving it. And I'm just gonna, and that's another thing too, I do want to tell people, do not focus on the support that you're not getting. It's so easy to get caught up in, you know, of course you see family and friends that could probably go harder for you, but what is that going to do to focus on them? I have strangers that I don't know, like in so many different areas and places, that support me. And I'm just like, damn, you know, why my family can't be like this, but I can't focus on that.
Nope.
It's focus and accept the love and the energy that you're getting, and manifest everything that you want. And I really think things will fall into place for all of us. So
that is very, very true. Man, Shay, thank you so much again for being a part of the Gift of Gab. You are always welcome back here. I don't care what it is you want to do.
I'm coming back.
You are always welcome back. I hope to start doing these, you know, in person. So hopefully next time we can be meeting up, doing something in person, especially you know, you kicking off some type of organization there with autism, like in Tampa. I would love to, you know, come and cover that. So we will be in touch. And for everybody out there, y'all go run my girl's song 90s Baby up. We're gonna fade out with it as we end this episode. And like I always say, y'all take care of yourselves and take care of each other.
And support Gift of Gab.
Support Gift of Gab. That's what I'm talking about. Girl. Now. Bye, y'all.
Bye.